welcoming Halima Abdurrauf. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Good Morning Abuja.
Thank you so much.
Compliment of the season.
Compliments of the season.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Happy New Year. Same to you.
Thank you.
Thank you for this opportunity.
All right.
You're welcome.
So let's start. Tell us about yourself.
Okay, my name is Halima Abdurrauf. I'm a multimedia journalist and currently works with the Voice of America on House of Service.
Okay.
And I'm the author of Ignite Resilience, an ultimate guide to getting out of your comfort zone. And aside that, I do a bit of interior decor and bespoke fashion. I run a small fashion company with my sister, my little sister. And so we do both unisex dressing. And so I do media consultancy on the side. Well, just to be able to take care of needs and
bills.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, so why the topic? Why did you decide to choose the topic Igniting Resilience?
Igniting Resilience is really dear to me because I think I mirror it on my parent, especially my dad. So at age 9, there was Sharia 2000 in Kaduna State for people who are familiar with the Northwest. And we lost everything because I was a little child, but I know that to the glory of God, we've got what I would say it's a comfortable life. And we lost everything. It was just uniform on our bodies. And we almost lost our firstborn because, you know, it's a religious kind of crisis. And I saw my dad go through all of that without showing any sense of defeat, kind of. And yes, my mom, you know, women, we are more emotional people. My mom was kind of devastated, but my dad never showed anything. As a 9-year-old, I don't know what to term that kind of, I don't know, characteristics in my dad. But while growing up, I just found a word and it was resilience. So from then I started thinking of writing, but I didn't know the way to go about it. In 2012, I came to Abuja for internship at Dow Communications PLC, AIT and Ray Power. And as a 21-year-old at the time, what I knew was just to get married was what was on my list. But when I mingled with a lot of people from different backgrounds, because I was born and raised in Kaduna, and I knew just people in my circle to be same religion, not much diversity. And so I saw young people 19, 17 doing a lot of stuff, and I was like, oh, wow, comfort zone, because there is comfort zone in the book. And I was like, oh, so what was I thinking all of this time? And that was when I said, okay, it should be Igniting Resilience, and there should be a comfort zone somewhere. But from 2012 till 2023 that I published the book, I stopped a lot of times. 2012 to 2021, I didn't do much, just some few pages. But in 2021, while I was supposed to go for my master's degree in 2019, but I couldn't go because of financial constraint. In 2021, my experience while isolating in the United Kingdom for studies just made me go back to writing because it was my first time traveling outside Nigeria without any family member or friends. And so I was supposed to quarantine for 10 days, but I couldn't because I missed my day 2 testing and it ended up 15 days. And I was isolated. It was only my phone calling people back. And you know what, the isolation, like no physical contact, I felt like I was leading into depression. So I seek for like support from the school system, my personal tutor and the COVID support team. And that was what motivated me to keep writing and writing before I was able to publish in December, on the 7th of December, 2020.
Wow. That was awesome. The story behind Igniting Resilience.
It was
Story
all
behind the
from
topic.
2000 because I thought about what to write, but I don't know the topic in 2000. I was just a 9-year-old, but I wanted to write a book.
So your experience.
Yes, it was my experience from 2000 until 2023.
Wow, beautiful.
That's a beautiful story behind that book. So what do you aim to achieve with this book?
Oh, a lot.
Or the message behind it.
Yes, a lot to achieve and even the message. So for me, like I said, in 2012, I got like a paradigm shift around what life should be. Before that, I was all about, let me just get married and start a family and stuff. But in 2012, my perspective about life changed. And I noticed that in the northern part of Nigeria, especially the northwest, the northeast, I'm not conversant with the north central as much because this is where I grew up and this is the terrain I go through like my life. And I noticed that it's a thing for young people to just want to stick to where they know, the confines of their comfort zone.
Yes.
And it was the same for me because up till now in my family, I think I was the one that said, I'm not going to continue in the train of, it is one place that I know all my life.
Wow.
So young people in this region are all about comfort zone. They don't want to step outside of it because they are scared of
Don't
what
think
is
outside the
beyond.
box.
Yes.
So
I thought for a young person and a young lady, I've got a lot to do to change the narrative too, because to change the world, it should start from me. So if I want to see the change, the paradigm shift in northern Nigeria, I think it should start with me and I should send the message to young people. So that was all about it. And I felt like if I can push my message through book, through like regular interaction on social media platforms, it will go a long way. So it's just about changing the mindset, the paradigm shifts that we need for young people to understand that beyond your comfort zone, there are limitless possibilities. And if you don't try, you wouldn't know what you would get from it. Because for me, up till now, the people I grew up with in Kaduna State, a lot, I would say maybe up to 60-70% are still in that environment. And they keep asking me, why is it that you get jobs easily? I'm like, well, in 2012, I've got a mindset shift and I decided to continue in that train. So I wouldn't keep myself in that confine. I think I would grow. Yes, comfort zone is not inherently detrimental to people, I believe. But then if you find out that you're doing stuff and there is no much progress, why not try another place? So the message is just about changing mindset towards like you can get limitless possibilities outside of where you grew up or where you know or the place that you've lived maybe large chunk of your life.
Or what you've not done before.
Yes,
you need to change. Now, when you said you made up your mind and say you're not going to just follow the same trend. I know definitely it wasn't easy.
It wasn't.
A lot of objections. So how did you manage that?
My dad is a traditional person and doesn't, especially for a girl child, education shouldn't go beyond secondary school. So my mom said, no, even if it is just diploma, let them get. At least they can be self-sufficient or self-reliant. So I know that to convince my dad to make me come to Abuja in the first place in 2012 was just a very tedious task. But thankfully, I've got lecturers that were like mentors to me and they saw the potentials in me. And they were like, no, you want to go to EIT Abuja. I know that you said your dad would not allow this, but let's speak to your dad. So they spoke to my dad. So there are people that were instrumental, even in the challenges. Those people were like, okay, since we saw the potential in you, we'll support you. And we know that you are a decent person and you're trying to keep to the tenets of your religion and all of that. So we're going to support you through it. So the challenges were daunting because I would say from 2012 till date, it was a lot of challenges.
This is very interesting. I know a lot of people are interested. Okay, thank you very much. We'll still continue and you hear more from her. But let's go for this short break. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned.
Good evening. Glad to have you join us.
Thanks for joining us on Weekly News Wrap.
Thank you very much for having me.
And it is on that note we welcome you to today's edition of the program.
We celebrate creativity, lasting impressions.
There's no book stating that this is the role for men.
On the news.
On the news at 7.
Jama'a barkamu da wannan
The Little Station, NTA Channel 5, Abuja.
Would say have a lovely day.
Welcome back. Wow, you've heard her story. I'm sure you're itching to hear more from her. Okay, so yes. So let's continue from where we stopped.
Okay, yeah. So we're talking about challenges.
Yes.
And then, so from 2017 till date, I'll leave the other parts because it's a long story. From 2017 till date, I came back to Abuja without a place to stay. My dad said I should just come back to Kaduna, but I pushed and I said that we've got like a distant cousin whom I stayed with in 2012 in Abuja. And so I went back and the man in the husband would not allow, wasn't so free. So I decided to start thinking of a way out. It was difficult, but again, Because when I came back to Abuja, you know, NYC, people that camped in Abuja will be prioritized over people that are employed. So to get a place of primary assignment was another problem. But in all of the challenges, people were instrumental.
Definitely.
People see your kind of effort every day and they believe in you and they keep pushing. Yes, they can't support you financially as much and all of that, but then their words keep me going. And the end goal for me, I saw myself like, at the time I was like, my goal is to see myself in the global stage, like Christian Amanpour. And that was just the thing. I've got a vision board, and the vision board got the pictures of all of these people I was looking up to. And when I wake up in the morning, my vision board is where I can't avoid. Like when I come out of my bathroom, definitely I'm seeing the vision board because I'm going to rough paper. So when I go to the pictures, I'm like, oh yes, there's a lot of work to do. So just look, this person, 40 years for Christian Amanpour. Oh, she did a lot of work. Was in the war front so many times. And she's still standing tall. So when I look at Christian Amanpour, for instance, I'm like, oh, this is the person. When I look like John Momo, I'm like, oh, is that at NTA? When I look at people, their pictures are there and they keep pushing me in. That's the side people that are physically saying, you can do it, we see the potential in you. So in all of the challenges, people were instrumental.
And you came out great. With this story, how did your father feel?
Okay, my dad passed away in 2020.
Okay.
Yeah. Between 2017, because it was much more like I was the prodigal child, because we're 7 from my mom and 2 from my stepmom, 9 of us. And with all of the 9 of us, up till now, I think I pulled 2 of my siblings to Abuja.
Inspired them.
Almost all of them are still in Kaduna. So when I said I was still going to stay in Abuja to serve, my dad said, "Oh, you chose this path. Whatever comes back, you're going to face it." But I made sure that I did my best as a parent. As a Muslim, I did my best to give you the best tarbiyah and all of that. But don't give me bad name.
That's what he was scared of.
The most important thing. My relationship with my dad went sour a little bit because I was just the prodigal child, really.
The end was how I'm sure my dad proud of you.
From 2018. I got my first job with Clearview Online TV after channels, and so I started doing stuff for myself personally. I registered a company while serving a media consultancy and did the fashion one too. And when I go, my dad see me on TV and see, oh, that's my daughter. I'm super proud of all of that. And so one day I just went to Kaduna and said, "Oh, please forgive me. I know that I was disobedient because you said no, and I said this is what I want." Prior to that, in 2012, after internship, I met someone in AIT that has got a production place in London. And whenever there is any project in Nigeria, the guy calls me. So my first disobedience was in 2013. I finished internship and there was strike and all of that. And this man called me and said, "There's a project in Ogun." It was my first time out of the north, like as an adult, if my friend did not take me somewhere. And I just said, "I'll take the job. It's a 5 weeks contract." I said, "I'll take it. Do you think your parents will allow it?" I said, "Don't worry." So I went to Katie and said, "Mama, I got some very short contract job in Ogun." He said,
Ogoni.
"I'm sorry, Ogun." He said, "Don't worry, I'm sorry."
Yes, so you know.
Don't worry. I think I said, "Who do you know in Ogun that you're said, I don't know. You're not going." I said, "Okay." And my dad goes out early in the morning, comes back before Margaret. And after my dad left for work in the morning, I just said to my mom, "Mama, I'm going to collect something from my friend in this so place." I came to Abuja, pick a flight and went to Lagos. And from Lagos, I went to Ogun. And I got there. My mom called me at about 4. "Where are you?" I'm like, "Mama, I'm in Ogun." She said, "Ogun what? Ogun where? Please remove me from this your."
I'm not part of it at all. That's murder for you.
My dad came back and said, "Check the check-in." "Why is watching?" My mom said, "Call." She said she was going to collect a message from someone. And I said she should take 30 minutes and then she's not returned. And my dad said, "Okay, pick call." I was using a Nokia and Mama called. "Where are you?" "It's 27. What are you still doing outside?" "Mama, I'm sorry, but what? You should get back to this place in the next 10 minutes. I'm like, okay. And ended the call. So I tried to.
That means you're a very strong person.
And said, well, I'm sorry, I'm in Ogun. He said, you should turn back from Ogun right now. He said, but where will I get the flight and all of that? The way you went, come back. I just said, okay. I sent a message that I'm trying to change the narrative for myself. And I said, Baruana, just remove the picture.
All right, from your story, which is quite inspiring, we have youths out there who are trying to climb the ladder of success, but they don't know how to go about it. They're scared of maybe parental influence, or their parents will not allow them to achieve that aim. From your experience, can you talk to them about it?
Yes, first I would like to issue like a disclaimer. No one should disobey their parent for no just cause. For me, taking the steps that I did was just simply because I've set a goal for myself, and I saw that it's a kind of family thing that we don't get out of this particular place. So I want to get out of that space and break the jinx of, oh, it's all Kaduna and I shouldn't go somewhere else. So if you're trying to achieve something, what's more important is to find a way to convince your parents to come in term with what you're trying to achieve. They should understand. First of all, you need to be that child that they trust, that you're decent, that you uphold
before they will allow you,
the tarbiyah or the upbringing that they gave you. And then you can find a way to convince your parent, get people that can speak to your parent to accept what you want to do, because it's a good cause, not just anything. Then after that, you make sure that whatever it is you want to achieve, surround yourself with people who are doing similar thing that you want to do, and then they are willing to support you to push for the boundaries that you want to push for or reach for the stars. And aside that, you yourself need to convince yourself, because there is procrastination. You need to convince yourself and break those goals into smaller milestones. When you break them into smaller milestones, every week, this is what I want to achieve. And then you make sure you set a timer or a reminder for yourself that this is what I do. At the end of the week, this is what I was able to achieve. If I wasn't able to do what I was supposed to do, I'll go again in a different format. Try to change the way you did it that did not give you the result that you want. So when you got all of those people, good people surrounding you, like mentors, mentorship is very important. It is very easy to go and achieve your dreams. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Now it's obvious that you have weathered a lot of storm, and then it takes someone who has weathered storm to be able to advise other people, okay, who are into it. So we want you to advise people who are going through a lot of challenges, especially setbacks, that don't know how to get out of it, or who want to go higher, in life, but they don't know the steps to take. So what advice do you have for them?
For people who are going through one challenge of life or the other, life challenging issues are ubiquitous, and we face them every day. But seeing challenges as setbacks would not get you anywhere. Seeing them as an opportunity to grow, to do new things is very important. So say, for instance, you went through a challenge, you want to achieve something, and you were not able to go through it. Just sit back, rethink the means that you went through that challenge, those challenges, and then think about new solutions. Do research. Talk to people about it. Sometimes when you talk to people about your goals, you think they want to steal it. They can steal it, but they can't implement it like you, because it is your own idea and all of that. So talk to people. Try to see challenges as opportunities. Get mentors, people that you see up there, that they're doing great, and you believe this is where you want to be. Make them like your vision board picture, and always go back to them. Everything would fall in place. Wow. There's always light at the end of the tunnel if you put the work into it.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you so much. You've all heard it. Wow. There's always light at the end of the tunnel.
If you put the work in it.
Yes. Yeah. And remember, they say when the going gets tough, the tough gets going, especially when you have a positive goal that you want to achieve. Thank you so much, Halima. We look forward to seeing you again. Thank you so much. Okay, we hope you picked one or two things from what she said. So please don't just remain there. Don't just be comfortable in your comfort zone. You need to get out and get to that height where you want to. Okay, thank you so much for staying tuned. Now the program continues after this break. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.